All right, in today's video, we're going to walk through how to build a welcome flow in HubSpot. This can be done whether you're a B2B company and someone opts in or you're a B2C company. It really doesn't matter. And ultimately, this is going to show you how to actually build marketing campaigns in HubSpot. But obviously, starting with a welcome flow is usually the best place to start. Before we dive in, I am Andrew. I'm the founder of RevFuel. We're a Gold HubSpot partner. We work with companies to do all things HubSpot, from setting someone up on HubSpot, migrating them over from another CRM, to really our bread and butter is working with companies to optimize their CRM. They're using it for sales, they're using it for marketing, and they're just not getting great results. I mean, we've worked with companies to help them double to triple their revenue. We've helped them, double the amount of leads. We've helped companies, scale, to over 4 million MRR in less than a year. So we'll dive in and we'll walk through how to actually build a welcome flow that you can build for your own company, or you can reach out to us. So in HubSpot, you're going to need Marketing Pro at the very least to be able to send marketing emails and build automations. So the first place we need to start is we need to go on down to the left-hand side to automations, and we need to go to workflows. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to click create a workflow and create one from scratch. And right here, we need to pick basically what is this workflow based on? And just to briefly walk through, and I have another video on workflows in general, but we need this to be typically it's going to be a contact-based workflow, because you have a contact that's taking some type of action. They're subscribing to your newsletter, they're submitting a form on your website, they've downloaded an asset, maybe they've gone to a paid ad. And they've submitted something. So we want to do a contact-based workflow. Even though they might be working for a company, if it's B2B, it still needs to be, typically contact-based. We're going to do a blank workflow. So first things first, we need to pick that trigger. What is going to cause someone to actually enroll in this welcome flow? And there's a couple things you can do. Again, maybe it's submitting a form. Maybe they're downloading something. Maybe it's a newsletter. Typically, what you're going to use is you're going to do something like using an actual form that you can go and create in HubSpot. And that's where you'll collect their information. So for now, I'm just going to say any form, but specifically you might pick like, hey, they filled out this form. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, hey, contact has filled out a form. And that's really it. I don't need to do anything else. At least for this one, my criteria is pretty straightforward. Obviously, if you're getting more complex and maybe this is not for a welcome flow, maybe this is for someone downloaded an asset, you could pick, hey, they download, they filled out this form. And maybe I want to also add in additional criteria. Maybe we also want to say, I don't know, pick whatever property it may be in here. But for now, we're just going to do a form. So the first thing we want to do is we need to make sure that they are able to receive marketing emails. So with HubSpot, they have basically you can have unlimited contacts, but to be able to market and actually send marketing emails, you need to have a plan that gives you marketing emails. So that's the first step. And this is where our action is. And you can just search for marketing. It's going to be under marketing. I'm going to move myself over. We are going to set a marketing contact status. So we're going to set marketing contact. And now we have the ability to be able to actually market to this contact. And then from here, it might be as simple as just setting up an email. And that might be it. Sometimes you'll want to stamp a property. We could do that. We'll say set property. And maybe we want to just say, I don't know, let's say type. We're going to set the type. Botox for our account in this case. And then we're going to go ahead and send our email. Again, this is a more straightforward one. We'll go to communication, send email, and this is sending that marketing email. We're going to send it to the enrolled contact, and then we can just pick and choose, email one, whatever it is, and we'll set it. And then from there, maybe we don't send another email for another day, so we need a delay. And there's different types, but typically you're going to do something like set amount of time. In this case, we'll do a day. And then step 2 is maybe another email. And you're just going to continue this. If you have a 5-step welcome flow, you'll continue it. An easy thing to do. You could also clone this. Okay, maybe we don't want this to be day 1. Maybe we want it to be 2 days after. And then we want to add another email, send email, enrolled, email 3, and just continue the process. And what you could do to make things more complex, maybe your form is collecting like the type of company they are, and you want to be more specific in your welcome flow, for the type of company and industry they are. So you could always branch things, and we'll say, industry A. And I'll just pick a random industry, equals to auto. And then maybe you have another one that's, I don't know, planes. I don't know why I'm picking planes auto. But we'll just say industry, planes. And then maybe we have one more branch that's, I don't know, boats. Let's keep the wheels going. Industry, boats. So and in this case, it's just picking, basically I already built a branch, so where should they put it? So I don't want to remove it. I want to actually put it under industry 1. And in theory, if maybe, I basically want the same cadence, but maybe just different emails, I could just clone this, place that there, and then I could just go in and replace this email and, pick a different one and do that. And then obviously continue and add it on. So pretty straightforward. If, let's say, you have your welcome flow, but the goal, for example, is to book a call. And if they book a call after the first email and you don't want them to receive that email, what you can do is, and this is good because one way it's obviously getting rid of people that you don't want to continue to email if they book that call, but also 2, if you want to be able to track things, we can go up, edit enrollment trigger. And in this case, we want to go over to enrollment. And, there's a couple things we could do, but we could say a goal. And I don't know, let's say appointment date. So let's say when someone books a call, their appointment date maybe from a workflow gets stamped. So now what would happen is when someone enrolls in here, and let's say after email 1, they see that email that says, hey, book a call, they booked the appointment. Now they're not going to receive email 2 because they're going to be unenrolled. And also we're going to be able to report and be able to see, how many people are hitting these goals as well. So this is pretty straightforward. You can get obviously a lot more complex. Typically most welcome flows are, 3, 5, 7, however many it may be. You want to continue to email them, regardless if they book an appointment or purchase something or whatever it may be. But it's pretty straightforward. And then at the end, that's it. Once it's done with the workflow. There's nothing else. Obviously, you can then take steps and say, okay, I want to put them in a separate workflow. But this is a pretty straightforward workflow. The last thing is, example, welcome flow. We just want to name it. And then in this case, obviously, if we're building it, like there's already people in here. So if I pick yes, it's going to automatically enroll those people in, which I probably don't want to do. Typically, I pick no. And then you just go through the next step, continue, and turn it on. And that's it. Pretty straightforward in terms of building out a welcome flow.